Good afternoon. Hello, everyone. I'm Aparna Goyal from South India Agencies. Welcome all of you to our another edition of our webinar. The South India Agencies is one of the leading distributor for architectural hardware, supplying to almost all the projects across India. We are a distributor for multiple brands and products from across the world. Hence, we are a one-stop solution provider for all interior fittings for residential, commercial, and hospitality industry. I'm proud to say that we have been associated with almost all the top builders and developers since last 25 to 30 years. So I take the pleasure to introduce our guest for today, Dr. Pradeep S. Avadhani. Dr. Pradeep has done his BSc in genetics, MSc in biochemistry, MBA in business strategy, PhD in branding, and PhD in astrology. Interestingly, this work spans from big names in the medical industry, including marketing and sales, pan India for NEO hospitals. But his true calling was for astrology and Vaastu. He has also worked as a consultant with residential and commercial builders. He specializes in providing Vedic remedies to reach our goals. Over to Dr. Pradeep.
Namaste, madam. Thank you for the introduction. Namaste, viewers. So I welcome one and all for this series on scientific Vastu. In today's session, we will be talking about fundamentals of Vastu, followed by science of Vastu in upcoming sessions. So before getting into the topic, I will also try to address some of the basic questions that arises in common man's mind during this session. Some questions being, is Vastu Shastra scientific? Does it play a constructive role in improving one's quality of life? What if the Vastu Shastra is not used in construction? Does light and air make any impact on our lives? Does Vastu has relation to astrology or divine will? So, before getting into the basic topic, let me assure you, our Rishi and Munis who have given us this wonderful science, their only motto in giving this Shastra is our improving our quality of life, both materialistically and spiritually. So, without wasting much of the time, let us get into the Vastu. So, next, so the Vastu definition, I'll start with the Vastu definition. Let me give you a basic introduction of what Vastu is, what Shastra is, and how it is intermingled between each other. So, Vastu in Sanskrit means a dwelling place. So, it's basically a mansion where we live in or a workplace where we do work. And Shastra in Sanskrit means knowledge or Vidya. So, Vastu Vidya is basically a sacred holistic science pertaining to designing and building of the houses or workplaces. So, getting into the next topic, we'll talk about Vastu and Panchakutas. You know, our Vedic system recognizes nine major planets, as you know, Sun, Moon, Venus, Mars, both Earth, Jupiter, Saturn, Rahu, and Ketu. So, out of all the nine planets, only our Earth has life. The main reason of this is the presence of the Panchakutas or the five elements. Basically, they are fire, earth, air, water, and sky. These things are present in equal amount, wherein we can sustain our lives and grow periodically. So, Vastu Shastra is basically creating a congenial setting or a place to live or work in most efficient way, bestowed with these five elements in equal proportions, so that paving way for enhanced health, wealth, prosperity, and also happiness in an enlightened environment. So when we talk of these five major Panchabhutas, it is also directly interconnected with our body system, which I will be taking it up. And Vastu is not only about the Panchabhutas, but also about the directions. So when we talk of the direction, we'll start with the east, the rising sun, which is ruled by Indra, and the next direction would be south, the abode of Yama, which establishes the earth element, and the next direction would be the west, which establishes Varuna as a Adidevata containing water element, and the north, which is also known as Kuber moon, which is headed by Lord Kuber. When we talk of the diagonal directions, we'll start with northeast, which is again ruled by Sadashiva, Lord, and planet Jupiter. As you can see, just for example, when we talk of northeast, major people talk about growth. Since Jupiter is a planet indicating growth and wealth, so there is a great importance attached to northeast direction in Vastu Shastra. When we talk of southeast, it is basically ruled by element fire, and the planet which is ruled by this is Venus. Fire is basically related to passion, so fire element we establish for kitchen and other electrical areas. When we talk of southwest region, this is a major area where majority of the people talk of this as Kuber moon, but it is not actually Kuber, but it is headed by Putana or Niritti. He is a demon. So the basic planet governing this is planet Rahu. Since southwest being we established bedroom, so it is majorly a comfort giving area and decision making area. Since it is head by Putna, a demon, it is basically not a spiritual area, it is only a materialistic comfort area. When we talk of northwest area, it is again Vayu Mula, what we call as. So it is headed by Lord Vayu himself, and the planet which is indicated by this is Lord Moon. As you know, moon in astrology influences the mind. It is basically for creative purposes, emotional purposes. So northwest area becomes a major area for creativity and movement of any articles. So the above all this, the place where all the directions correlate at the center is known as Brahmastan. It is the area which gives energy to all the directions. So this area needs to be taken up while constructing the house without any damage. Next, so the next slide we will be talking about the directions and the elements. So this direction and elements would be useful for establishing any particular room or a area in the house or a workplace. So when we talk of northeast, north and east areas, it is basically water prone. This is a area where we keep all our sun, and also we take care of the halls and other stuff wherein it's emotionally bonded and involved with each other. When we talk of southeast area, it is basically Agni. It comprises of both south and east area. So Agni area is for our kitchen and other electrical items. We use this. So when we talk of southwest area, it is basically a earth element area wherein the basic necessities for us in living in this world, basically like money, fame, all those stuff comes under earth element area. So southwest becomes a major area for decision making and enjoyment. When we talk of northwest area, it is basically north and west. This is a area which helps in movement of the particles inside the body, creative purposes, and movement of any particles or the object from the office area. So northwest area is basically for toilets, bedroom for unmarried people, and in work area it basically signifies any product which are ready to move out of the place. So next we are talking of energy zones. So here energy zones comes under two major distinct areas. The first energy zone will be the source energy. Of course, source energy for growth, development, and properties. So and healing properties. Sorry, and direction which is preferred is east and north and northeast. So when we talk of east and north, the basic element of sun rays which comes in the morning, which contains UV radiation, helps in healing and DNA tissue repair, and it also helps us in our development, mental development, and growth. And the direction which relates to thinking energies are basically west and south. So this is the area where the sun sets, and sun is very active, giving higher radiations in the afternoon by 2 o'clock. So basically, sinking energy gives degrowth, health issues, and non-development in individual lives. So please make a note, there should be enough light and air inside the house or office, in spite of the Vastu directions being good. So next. When we talk of Vastu, it is basically dependent on movement of sun, especially in tropical countries. You can see the sun rising in the east, followed by southeast direction, which is like almost by 12 o'clock, you can see sun in the southeast direction. By 2 o'clock towards south, then followed by 4 o'clock in the southwest direction, and by 6 you can see him sinking in the west, followed by movement in northwest direction, north, northeast. So this is the basic movement of sun in the tropical countries. When you talk of south energy zones like east and northeast and north, it will be basically early in the morning between 3:30 to 6. You can see sun moving from north, northeast to east, where it rises. This is the time we call it as Brahmi Muhurtam, and this is the time you feel a lot of positive energy in the environment. The rising sun, as you are all aware, gives a lot of growth related properties and healing properties. So that's the reason we always keep our north, east, and northeast so vacant whenever we are trying to build any house or a complex. So basically, this is the area which helps us in healing, recovering from our illness and all the stuff. So when we talk of the movement of sun later part from 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock, it is basically the IR radiation which moves in the environment. Whenever we are exposed to IR radiations, it causes a lot of tissue damage and also other health related issues. That's the reason we advise all our clients to keep south and west closed and north and east open, so that they get to experience a lot of positive energies. So coming to the next slide, we talk of Vastu and how it is dependent or how it is improving our quality of life. So when we are talking of Panchabhutas, we make sure that the external Panchabhutas are in sync with our body Panchabhutas, the house being the middle one. So the external Panchabhutas interact with the building. So the building, which also contains the Panchabhutas like fire element, water element, air element, everything, it also influences us. So within our body, we have this seven chakras known as Muladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura, Anahata, Vishuddha, Agya, and Sahasrara. So each of the chakras represent a element. So the influence of the external Panchabhutas with our body chakras also establishes a sort of equilibrium, so that it helps us in experiencing positive thoughts, living a good quality of life, reaching our goals. So let us take one by one in example. So when we talk of Muladhara Chakra, it is at the base of the spine, also known as the earth element chakra. The planet influencing this is planet Mars, and the color of this chakra is red. So Muladhara Chakra influences family ties, a sense of belonging, independence, finance, and our basic needs. Let us take a human being chart where Mars is afflicted. But if he's in a place where south and southwest is solid in a house, still it establishes the Mars element within, so that the property that Mars is giving from his horoscope in terms of wanting of basic needs and all can be recovered to certain extent with the house where he is placed well. When we talk of Swadhisthana chakra, it is a cycle just below the Nabi, where it is a fire element, and the planet that influences this is planet Buddh, and color is yellow. As you know, it is Buddh is basically intellectual planet. It also influences sexuality, fertility, fluidity, and creativity of a person. So in your house, if the fire element is established well, like southeast area where it is a fire element area, then the basic ingredients like fertility, fluidity, and creativity will be taken care of in spite of some disturbances with planet Buddha in your horoscope. When we talk of Manipura, it is also known as Nabi Chakra. It is a water element area. So the planet influencing this is planet Jupiter, and the color is green. Basically, the mechanism would be metabolism, digestion, self-esteem, and inner power. When you establish a water element area in your house or a office area, then definitely the metabolism, digestion, and inner power will be taken care of to a certain extent. The Anahata chakra will be again a air element. Planet influencing that is Venus. Color is deep red. When you talk of family ties, it also comes under unconditional love, compassion, forgiveness, openness, acceptance, joy, and inner peace. When you talk of Anahata chakra, it is also known as the heart chakra. Suppose the air element is established well in your home or office, then definitely the properties relating to Anahata Chakra, that is unconditional love, compassion, forgiveness, openness, acceptance, these things will be taken care of in an individual. So, thus, the five elements that is established within our chakras, when it is in equilibrium with the external Panchakutas, we are sure to see some positive results taking up. So the other thing is Vastu an independent element is what we need to know. Definitely, what Vastu alone is not an independent element. Vastu comes under the base rank of the individual property. Above Vastu would be running your horoscope or astrology part, and above all this will be the divine will. So when you talk of Vastu, it is basically establishing the basic elements so that your body is in sync with this, thus establishing a good prosperity and quality of life for you all. So before closing this session, I would like to thank South Indian agencies for giving me an opportunity to interact with you all. So your questions are welcome.
Thank you, sir. So, sir, we keep getting a lot of queries from our clients regarding
Yeah.
Vastu. Hence, we thought now that you're here, it would be nice if you could answer a few of them. We
Sure,
have picked
please.
the most frequently asked questions. Can I start with few of them?
Sure, ma'am.
The first one is Vastu all direction based?
Vastu is predominantly direction based, but major part of it depends on direction, and some part of it depends on the energy part of it. For example, if you're having some doshas in soil, so that will obviously affect the direction part of it. So let us take as an example some animal bones present in the land, or some dead body kept under this soil. Definitely, these things will affect the nature of the house built and the energy levels in that place.
Okay. The second one was, does Vastu represent a single individual or family as whole?
It is basically for full family. If it is for residential buildings, when you are owning something and you are building some office, then your individual preferable direction is to be seen.
The other one is, does Vastu require anything other than directions?
Lot many factors like air, lot of light should be there, and some parts like road it needs to be taken care of when you're building something. So next to your houses, what type of construction is there, that also needs to be taken care of. So when you're talking of agricultural lands or a big chunk of land, then naturally the sloping, the ingredients like trees, shrubs, everything present there needs to be taken care of, man. Because each and every element start giving you some energies. So basically, these energies need to be tackled well. including the items that you keep inside your house needs to be worked well before getting into that place.
Okay. The next one was, is Vastu same for individual houses or flats?
Basics of Vastu remains same, but the kind of exposure that the apartment gives is something different than individual houses. Because in apartments, you talk of high-rise apartments, there will be a lot of energy gap between the ground and the basic floor. Let's talk of 11th floor, for example. So there is no connection between ground to the 11th floor. So the energy changes in that place. And opening of apartments, usually it's like one step and a lift. It comes become like a C-type chula. So your energy flow depends on the C-type chula that exists between your door and the corridor, basically. So these things need to be worked out before getting into that place.
Okay. The other one was, does land also play a role in Vastu?
Sorry.
Does land also play a role in Vastu?
Definitely, it is. The science is basically about us. It is not something really alien to us. It's basically establishing the five elements properly in our system so that our thinking process does well, our psychological and spiritual progress goes well, and our quality of life, basically related to materialistic view, comes with a lot of clarity. So, establishing that elements from external to the internal definitely plays a role in upcoming of our thoughts.
Okay. Then the next one was, how does Vastu impact our lives?
It's basically source versus sinking energy zone, man. Source is basically, as I told you, it is basically about improvement, learning new things, undoing what we are, unlearning what we have learned already, and seeing a newer perspective on this kind of stuff. When you talk of a proper Vastu house, it gives all these positive outcomes, wherein we will be able to unlearn the new things and they will start learning new things. That gives us a major perspective for growth, basically. And especially when you talk of children, this plays a major role, and the adults in terms of keeping their health.
So the last one is astrology and Vastu related?
Both are interlinked. It is not separate. So it will be both interlinked. Let's talk like somebody with a Sadesati enters a house with full Vastu. Still he will not be able to see some good results happening immediately. That's because of the karma dasha that is running right now. So if it is a non-karmic dasha periods where an individual gets in, so that gives a more positive thing. If it is a karmic dasha period and a person gets into a house, he may not see an immediate result going there. But in terms of thought process, definitely he will find some difference. He will not feel the stress that's on him. So house will be basically supporting you in emotionally and moral way during that time. May not be materialistic.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. I think
Aparna, I have one question for Doctor. Doctor just wanted to know the south sides and west sides. So, what is your view on that? Because generally we have that contention of always going for north and east sides, actually.
Huh. But as I told you, like south is basically, you are exposed to sun in the south during the mid afternoons, which is basically infrared radiation, which causes tissue damage and health issues in the body, basically. If you talk of south, and west is a sinking energy zone. In the east, you always get the brighter side of the sun, where it helps in basically UV rays. So this helps in tissue healing, DNA damage repair, and all those stuff. There are a lot of studies abroad done also, basically on skin diseases. In France, one of the studies is they have healed almost 120 patients with UV therapy, UV rays therapy. So if you are north and east, you say end up having north and east side. So you will end up leaving more space and more light and energy to come in. So if you get into south and west, basically the positive side of sun is highly impossible in the morning times to enter your place. So that's the reason we basically say prefer north and east, so that early morning till 12 noon, you are exposed to the most positive side of the sun. It's based on the movement of sun only, sir. Nothing related to Shastra.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else would like to ask any more questions? Or can we end our session? I think we've already got late, so we should end our session. So thank you, sir. So friends, I really hope the session would have been helpful and informative for all of you. I would like to thank Dr. Pradeep once again for sharing his knowledge with us.
Thank you all for your patient hearing. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Thanks
sir.
for the opportunity. Yeah.
We will all
Thank you,
look
sir.
forward to your next session with us, sir.
Sure. Next session, I'll be talking about what all things we need to see before getting a property or a house. So our basic things will be on the checklist. There are around 18 to 20 checklists that we need to see before getting in or buying in some house. So this checklist we will take care of now next session.
Okay, great. So we'll fix up the date and we will let our viewers know, and we'll post it on social media. So please follow us on our social media page. And of course, would also like to thank all my dear friends for joining in with us. And I'm sure we now have a better understanding of this topic. So now quickly coming to the contest, as you all know that we have a kitchen makeover contest going on. If anyone wants to convert your old kitchen into a new modular kitchen, please send us your kitchen pictures. We will pick one lucky winner and give them a free consultation by our in-house designer. Hence, guys, please keep sending your entries. Thank you so much once again. Take care and goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.